Hello and welcome to a brand new episode. This week's guest is a presenting superstar who many of you are probably familiar with. She's covered a variety of sports in her time, but pays a lot of attention to motorsports these days and has a lot of fun with it. I'm of course talking about Rachael Downie. We caught up recently to chat about how she got into presenting in the first place, what it was about motorsport that attracted her, the 2021 season so far, and much, much more. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hi, Rachael. Thanks for being here today. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Very good. I think, like everyone, I think we don't know if we're coming or going right now. It feels like we're back to normal, but at the same time,
you don't quite believe it yet.
No, I really don't want to get too excited. But also, like the smallest of things, I feel like I'm so tired so easily. Like I don't know how we used to do it before, where you work full time, go to the gym, go out, do this. For me, just getting dressed in the morning is like, whoa, that's
Success.
enough now.
I can go back to bed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, doing very well so far today.
Be happy to hear
it. Thanks.
So you've been a presenter for quite some time now. I want to know what attracted you to it in the first place.
Well, I've been in the industry my whole life. I used to be a professional dancer, so I always joke that I'm like a real show pony. I think I'm really like, give me a camera and I'm in my element. But yeah, I used to be in the Royal Ballet when I was very little. And then after the Royal Ballet, I got a full scholarship to dance school. And so I think I left home at 15 with my scholarship, and then came to London since then. And dancing was always my love. And it's weird because I've been asked this question before, and you try to look back and like try to map it all and work out how you ended up here. And for me, I always watched F1 with my dad, obviously when it was on normal TV, because we didn't have way back then any of the Sky things or anything. And I still love it. For me, watching the Formula One, my dad used to go to British Grand Prix with my mum when they were younger. So that was always very yeah. And for me, my image, I think, as well as motorsport back then, it was very romantic, and it's old school and the drivers, and I always loved it, but it was never something I thought I could ever go into, I guess, as a female. But also because I didn't have the being a journalist or anything like that, it didn't excite me, and because I didn't have the education behind me, because I left school so young, obviously, that was just something that I never thought was, that door was shut, bolted, completely not a thing. So yeah, so became a professional dancer. Absolutely loved it. I forgot I did this. I actually got a presenting gig when I was about I was younger than that. I'll say around 15, but I think I was a bit young.
This is where we go looking on YouTube to try and find this now.
Yeah, and then you work out how old I am. I was like, oh my god. And it was back when the big breakfast used to be on Channel 4. And before the big breakfast started, I think it must have started at 8. I did a breakfast show at 7 in the morning for an hour. Mainstream, brilliant. I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting. And then the Gulf War started. And so all the filming I did was completely stopped. And so for that hour for the week, I don't know why I remember this. It was all, which, I understand it's the Gulf War, but that was my kind of first presenting gig. No one ever saw it because of the Gulf War. So there we go. That's a little, what do you do with that kind of information?
That's not an ordinary reason for missing out on something.
The Gulf War, exactly. So yeah, I've got a taste of presenting then, but yeah, never. God, it's such a long-winded story. Anyway, was a professional backing dancer when I left dance school. So from about 1920, did like Top of the Pops and CD UK with Anton Deck. I mean, we're talking way back when. I did like Smash It's Pole Winners Party. So that was my life. I'm so passionate about dancing even now. And then, long story cut, very, very short, because we could be here for days.
We'll have a super duper version. It's fine.
Right? Yeah. You thought lockdown was bad, but you hear my life story and it's like, oh my God, take us back. And then I left dancing when Top of the Pops came off air and all those shows came off air. For me, that meant my workload was massively reduced. So by luck, there used to be game shows on Channel 5 and ITV2 called like The Mint, and it was, like casino type shows. So they needed presenters. So I went along to an audition. I lied and said I'd done loads of presenting, and their presenter hadn't turned up. So they're like, well, you can do your audition live on air for like 10 minutes. And I was like, great. I've done that before. I haven't got a clue. I did it, blagged it. I always feel like I've been blagging everything ever since. But loved presenting. And I kind of feel doing those live interactive shows really make a presenter. It just teaches you everything better than doing, I don't know, workshop classes or anything like that. If you can hone your skill with live TV, and I did that for a couple of years, then I think you can do presenting wise anything. I think that's what makes my style very different to a typical journalist, because I have got that live experience behind me. And you've got balls of steel, and you can go and do anything because
so if something goes wrong, you've got to deal with it live on air, and you don't really have time to panic. So
no, and I love it, to be honest with you. And it did go completely wrong, and it everything but also it teaches you your craft, and I guess it teaches you a work ethic, because you can do a live show 5 hours straight. And the hours are unforgiving as well. Like you're working at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, but you have to do it, and you have to have the same energy at the end as you do the start. So that's definitely taught me that side of things, kind of endurance, and how you kind of present basically. And then I wanted longevity in the industry. I wanted respect. You don't get respect by doing those kind of shows, unfortunately, no matter how good you are. And I thought sport would be the good way in. Worked on PKR channel, which is the poker channel. I did a few football things. I'm a Spurs fan for my sins, and but then motorsport was always something that kept coming back to me, and I loved it. I get emotional when I watch a race. When I'm at a racetrack, I love the smell. It's everything about it. And it's that connection with watching it with my dad. Like, it's just something that's always been in me. And again, you kind of think, well, there's no job I could do there. But went to Silverstone a few times, brands, and I can't remember the name of the production company. But again, balls are still. I don't know how I even had the confidence. Because in real life, I'm quite shy. Like, I have a little bit of anxiety and stuff. And so you're like, oh wow. No, but when it comes to kind of being you, it's different when you're kind of, I just went up to the cameraman and was like, I'd love to, to have some work experience. And I find with things like that, if you compliment the other people, like, I kind of looked up the production company beforehand and who are the right people to kind of talk about and posh productions they've done. So they kind of gave me a little chance. Learned loads. Yeah. And kind of still, I think the moment you stop learning or stop getting nervous or stop getting self-doubt is the moment, I don't know, there's not much left in the industry for you. There's so much still to take in. So that's how I kind of got into the industry, but especially motorsport. And
so you kind of answered my second question there, because I was going to say, how did you get into the world of motorsport, but you kind of went straight into it, so it's fine.
Oh God, sorry. I'll start to everything. And I love motorsport, and it's like a little family, and it's weird when you do like Le Mans. I'm probably answering your next question now.
No, don't worry. We'll find out. But go for it.
My favorite race ever is Le Mans, and like I love endurance racing. Anyway, I love 24-hour races, 7-hour races. There's just something again beautiful about night racing, and that it kind of, when you do Le Mans, we're normally there for like a week. And you get so attached to the whole team. So if during the race the driver doesn't, get over the finishing line, you feel their emotion, and that's because you might not have known them a couple of weeks earlier, but when you're there, you're so
everyone's there. It's such a tight knit community once you're there, and everything's got going, that you just feel a part of it. I guess.
yeah. And again, I think that's why I love Le Mans. So I'll hopefully always go, even if I'm not like working there. Hopefully I'll always go. And yeah, I feel like this.
It's the inner fan in you. You just want to. You've still got the passion for it, even if you're not working there. You still love it. It's not like, well, I'm not going to go now. You're not.
Yeah, I'm done with that. I'm bored now. Exactly. And I mean, Le Mans is beautiful. And, like the sound, because of the way it's built, is so different to probably any other racetrack I've been to. And it's just, yeah. And I guess during race weekend, obviously the weather's here, there, and everywhere, a bit like being at Spa. You don't know what you're going to end up with. But then also you've got the flip side of it, where, you know, if you're on the campsite, which quite a few years we've stayed on the campsite, and I tell you, it's a bit of a shock. Like the first few days, I'm like, this camping malarkey is easy. God, it's so easy. And then literally, but the day before the race, it's packed. I mean, you're queuing for the shower with like, I know, big burly men as well as you. You're like, oh, this isn't what I expected. It's completely but again, it's great, and it's like a festival atmosphere, which a lot of people that haven't been won't see that side to somewhere like Le Mans. So
it's not the coverage, is it? So
no, it's true. You know, it's true, which is probably a good thing, especially some of the things I saw. But it's great, and again, that's racing, and yeah, I love it. And there's still so much more I want to do in it, I guess. But so I'm just going to go off on one. You'll be like, okay, Rach, off we go, babe.
4 hours later. Okay, so you already told a good story there, but what's another good story then you can tell us about your time in motorsport so far?
Oh God. I mean, I guess the one that sticks to my head would be with Le Mans, and it was my first. Was it my first year at Le Mans? Well, the first year at Le Mans, we were in a golf buggy, and it was the day before the race, and that's when literally everyone gets there. Like I said, you go from hardly anyone to, and we were in a golf buggy going towards the campsite. Loads of people lined up the streets, and they're holding like bottles, and I was like, what's going on? And I mean, obviously, wasn't there last year, but anyway, I asked my friend, like, what are they doing? Why are they lining the streets? What's in the bottle? And it was piss. And I don't know if I could say that on here, but it's tradition apparently, and they throw these bottles with all on the cars. Now we're in a golf buggy, and it was one of those things where it's the scariest yet most hilarious thing ever, because it's like, well, sooner or later I'm going to get a strange
there's no protection in a golf buggy.
No, so you might as well just do it on me right now, because I'm going to get it anyway. So yeah, and I remember, I think it was my cameraman, bless him, that kind of tried to protect me, because I guess he doesn't really want me drenched. It isn't, and yet we're still going towards it. And so yeah, that was probably not the story you were expecting, but that's something that definitely you don't forget easily.
They're not going to be expecting this stuff. That's how I keep them.
Go to Le Mans, you'll have a strange man wheel all over you.
On the poster for promotion.
Yeah. But that sticks in my mind.
I can see why.
Yeah, like I say, no, it was brilliant, the funniest thing ever, yet same time don't really want it to happen to you. But yeah, and then I've been like endurance races, 24 hours at Spa, which is just a beautiful racetrack. It really, really is. All over really. I've done some stuff with the British Grand Prix, Force India.
I was going to say, again, predicting the question. You got to be the Force India at Silverstone in 2015. How did all that come about? What was that like?
Do you know what? I guess I'll touch on this when you know about a lot of the time it is who you know. It's hard. Yes, you've got to prove yourself, and as a female, you've got to prove yourself more. So, and that's just the way it is, and that's great. But it's who you know, and there's a company called Red Eye Events that do a lot of the corporate hospitality at Grand Prix. They have like a yacht in Monaco, and they do all that, and they do lots of Q&As, and they needed the presenter. And so he asked me if I'd like to come along. And I'm like, well, yeah. You know, you got to play it cool as well when someone asks you, do you want to do a wicked job? Yeah. Oh, check my diary. Am I free? Yes, I'll be there. Yeah. And oh my God, it was amazing. It was beautiful sunny day at the British Grand Prix. And it was just great. The atmosphere. What is good about something like that, it's an easy audience. Everyone's passionate about either the British Grand Prix, or they're passionate about motorsport, or one of the drivers. It was Chico. He was so lovely. But they're do you know what I mean? Like, it's an easy audience. You're not. Yeah. Everyone's just so.
They're already there for the reason, so they're already going to buy into it.
Yeah, and it was just brilliant. It was one of those. I was there for the weekend. Just one of those weekends that you wish you could have like all the time. So yeah, that was so good, and just goes really quickly, which is typical for these things. So yeah, that was amazing. I would definitely love to go back and do something like that again.
Well, anyone listening, you know what to do.
Yeah, I'm right here. Don't wait on me though. Imagine if someone's just tuned in now to hear that bit.
Have the quote for the podcast. You'll never guess what the behind this story.
Oh dear.
I'm trying to find a natural segue, but there isn't one here, so I'll just do it. You got any favourite motorsport drivers?
Oh wow. I love when I look back when I was watching it when I don't know, maybe 90s, maybe 95. You got people like Coulthard, David Hill, you know, you've got Mansell, like those kind of people as well that are, I would say, I mean the personality, when you think of Hill, you don't necessarily think or Mansell of personality, and they're lovely. They're like, I'm not at all, but
I know what you mean,
they're like but I that's the days, I think. And we are definitely going back to those days, because the Drive to Survive, love it or hate it, where people knew who racing drivers were, and they could walk down the street and you'd know who they were. Whereas we've had an era that we're definitely coming out of, where motorsport and Formula One, no one really either watched it. And if I was out, and people would ask, you're into sport? Oh yeah, I love watching Formula One. Oh, well, okay. That would be pretty much the end of the conversation. I should have told them the Le Mans story. That would have brought it back in. So yeah, I think, again, it goes back to that. I guess you might romanticize the sport, but that era for me.
There's the personal connection there a bit as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you feel like you're invested then. Yeah,
exactly. And, you go all the way back to people like Sterling Moss and all the greats, and all those memories. And I think that's probably why motorsport is doing well now, because of Drive to Survive, because people can, as much as
I was going to say, I had a friend who no interest in motorsport whatsoever, but they got intrigued by the Netflix thing, and now I've got another person to talk F1 with. I'm just like, this is great.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, love it or hate it. I've got people that in motorsport that can't stand Drive to Survive, because obviously, it's not.
I mean, it's for people who watch it or know all of the stuff, you kind of have an idea of what they're over dramatizing, maybe, or this kind of thing. But you can appreciate what it's doing for general audiences, and it's clearly working on some levels. So
yeah, I think it's brilliant. And my other half, he's always kind of like motorsport, but he'll be watching like race weekends with me now, and like have opinions and comments and talk about certain drivers, and you're like, oh,
finally,
where have you come from? Wow. And like talk about Vettel and stuff, and you're like, and again, it's like, okay, this is new, I like this, you can stay a bit longer. So that I would say from back in the day, they would be the drivers. And obviously now, for so many different reasons, Hamilton, like the legacy.
Who's impressing you most this year in F1 then?
Yeah, definitely Hamilton. For, like I said, for so many reasons. On a driving standard, he has upped his game even more. He's not upping it necessarily for Verstappen. He's upping it for himself. He's really challenging himself and you can tell he's loving it too. Well, apart from Monaco, but you can tell he's loving having
even
someone
that,
else
he can
joining
still
him.
find something to take from it, and he relishes the challenge more because it's not had as
Exactly.
much of that in the past couple of years, maybe.
Yeah, it must be a little bit when you're that good, just at the front, and no one's around you, no one's challenging you. You must get a little bit, and you want to prove to people non-stop, like, this is how great I am. And also for everything he's doing and the legacy he's leaving behind within motorsport to do with, I would say race is one, but way more than that with his charity, the Hamilton Commission, with what he is doing there, and what Mercedes as well are working alongside him, what they're doing. It needs to be done, and it's getting the conversation started and enhanced.
There'd never be a guarantee that the team would back you in such a way, but they've just kind of stepped up, and it's all like, okay, he's doing this, but we're all going to do it because why not? There's nothing bad to gain from this, and it should be done. That it shouldn't be having to do this in the first place necessarily, but
no,
this is where we are, so we'll just go and do it, and we'll set the example.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, everything about Hamilton, and then I mean Lando Norris, amazing. Like, he's really stepped his game up. I'm going to just work down the grid. I mean, I know I just missed Verstappen then, and yeah, he's going to be a world champion in the future. We all know that. I think this year it will still go to Hamilton and Mercedes personally, but Verstappen is a oh god, what am I doing? Rachel, stop. I just talk.
I'm just going to reverse all these later and just like, there we go, it's fine.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Verstappen is going to be great. He is great, and that's kind of it. I don't really have, like, I'm not a fangirl for him. Norris, I think, is doing a great job. I'm just going to work all the way down the grid, and you probably don't really want that. Leclerc, I think, yeah, you're like, it's great, Rachel, I can have a nap. Leclerc, I think, showed himself to be a real sportsman at the weekend. The fact that he stayed there right to the end, like, I wouldn't have done that.
So Kimi would have done that straight back onto the yacht. So
yeah, oh my god, yes. Like, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, well, I don't really care about this now. Now I'm out, which is why I'm not the driver and I'm not a team player. But yeah, he's really shown himself to be the sportsman and I think he's a good poster boy actually for motorsport, and he's great for Ferrari. I'm going to work my way further down. I think Vettel's doing good all of a sudden. I'm not going to go off on one here because you're like, wow, Rach, how much time do we have?
Oh no, it's fine.
Esteban Ocon, and I love Yuki Tsunoda. I think he's sorted himself out.
I hear mixed opinions on those ones, so it's just interesting because I mean he's
good
in the car, but I think he's not quite got the performance all there yet to back up everything. I think, but
it is fair. Rookie, and I mean, also you have to have a certain amount of self-belief, confidence, and as a driver, and he's definitely got that, and you tell his frustrations already within maybe himself, or what did he say about he doesn't have a good as car as, which obviously he had to backtrack and apologize for. You cannot be saying things like that. But yeah, I think we've got good things to come from him. This year will be a little bit
interesting to see how he develops over the course of it, because it's such a long calendar as well. So
yeah, so long. It's so long. Has it got 23 races?
If everything goes to plan.
Yeah, that's true actually. But yeah, no, and I think it's great. I can't wait for the new regulations to come in, and just although everything's going really good now.
Oh yeah, it's kind of, you want this, but then more. If you can get Russell and a couple of people in there, then
yeah, and we haven't been disappointed yet at all. And I know it's weird. I didn't realise how divided people were as well with Monaco. Kind of, some love it, some
I remember coming away from it this weekend, because I always loved Monaco, but it was kind of, I saw the podium and think, if you saw this at any other race, you'd be like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah.
But then Monaco, you think, did I deserve it or not? Because it's a bit tricky, but I don't know now. So it's just, but I still love the track and everything. I feel like the advantages are still there, because it's not necessarily about the overtaking, it's about you've survived Monaco without cocking up, essentially. So you deserve the win, even if you did qualify in first or second in Max's case, but you still led. You still have to do the whole thing. So
I mean, how many is it? 36 gear changes, like a lap. I think they worked out it's like 3,000. I can't. I mean, and yeah, Verstappen was saying, it's that intense concentration at that circuit. Again, I'd be rubbish because if I see something as a distraction, I'd be in the wall like that. Or I panic because I can't deal with the excitement.
Wrong way around the track, Rachel. Turn around.
Yeah. Or just don't start, Rachel. But yeah, no, I love it. It's Monaco. It is. I think I put on my Insta stories like it's the jewel in the F1 crown, but it is. It's
you can see to the drivers it means that, but extra to them as well. It's like it's got that X factor kind of thing, so you don't know what it is about, but it's Monaco.
It's Monaco.
You got to keep
it. You know, yeah. I mean, it's not as exciting as some of the other tracks, some of the traditional circuits, but 1 out of 20. Exactly. You know, so let's have it. And I mean, come on, here's to the day you and I get invited onto one of the yachts to watch it. Then
I'm not complaining.
No, we've always loved it. Always loved it. But
check this podcast. We'll see. We've got it now. You can check that in a couple of years when we get it.
I'll never be asked back to Le Mans again. But Monaco.
It made up for it in other ways.
It's so true, right? But yeah, no, I don't even know what question I answered or if I gave you.
It's all right. I'll move on. If you could choose somewhere else on the F1 calendar that you've not been to before, where would you choose?
Oh, that I've not been to. Do you know what? I really wanted to see Canada this year. That would be good.
Kind of.
That's nice. Yeah, I actually like Turkey. Like last year, I there is something about that track. I like these European tracks. I really, really do. I was quite sad in a way that Turkey was happening
for a while, and then we had it last year, and I kind of remembered. Oh yeah, I remember how much of a track this is.
Yeah, I enjoyed it last year, and then we all thought we were going to have it again, and then a week later, COVID shot that one down for all of us. I would say any more of the traditional European ones that I love to see, because it reminds me as well a little bit of like a rally track, even though it's not, and that's probably not doing any justice.
Probably a bit last year, to be fair, with the wet conditions. So.
Well, yeah, exactly. But there is something quite untouched about that, which challenges the drivers. And again, if the drivers haven't raced on not raced on that track before or not for a while, it just adds to that. They're learning as we're watching.
Well, because everyone was surprised that Max wasn't taking turn 9. I think it was like full throttle the whole round. It was like he's thinking about it. You've got something that even he's not sure about there. We like that.
Yeah, and that's brilliant because again, it challenges everyone. Challenges the teams. It's all to do, and it challenges what strategy you do when you're a little bit unsure about it all. So yeah, I would like to see Turkey. I wonder, I mean, next year COVID won't be around. Can I touch wood? I mean, I have no idea. So hopefully next year we'll see some kind of normality. I'm pretty sure we've got as many races as we've got on the calendar, probably of them thinking, well, COVID might swap something, change something.
You see that Turkey spot's changed about 5 times already. So
I know. And who knows now, you're hearing different things about, Austria, but I think everything, again, touch wood, not jinxing anything, let's see it. But, and again, it's demanding for them. Is it like 3 back-to-back or something?
Something like that.
So demanding for everyone. But I guess...
Good element to see, though, every once in a while, to see how the drivers cope with it then.
Yeah, exactly. You're really pushing them, like mentally, physically, and same with every member of their team. I can't wait. What does that say about us lot? Just watching them get tired and stressed and under pressure. We're just sitting back and enjoying it. But, yeah, exactly. But it's good.
They get paid enough money. We deserve to see some stuff.
Yeah, they deserve it.
There's the justification.
Yeah, I like that justification. It works. But yeah, I would say Turkey. That was a long answer to your question. Right.
Editing later fixes everything.
That's great. Sorry.
A 5-minute interview.
30-second interview. That'll be it.
I'll go to Le Mans. That's it. So yeah, I'm gonna switch tack away from motorsport, just some other random stuff now.
Cool.
Guilty pleasure food.
Oh, anything carby. So in the week, I try to eat as like healthy and as clean as possible, just for like energy levels and things like that. So my treat food, it's not even that exciting, but anything with carbs, like literally just give me carbs. I don't have a sweet tooth, not a chocolate girl. Give me
Easter's food on your house.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I could make like a pizza as an egg or something. That would be exciting. But yeah, so anything carby. I could give you carby examples: pasta, pizza, bread.
I'm going wrong with pizza, so I'm on board there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, pizza, pasta, boom. Job's a good one. Yeah, that's what I would say.
When did something start out badly for you, but ended up much better than you thought it was going to?
My career, no.
If someone narrated your life, who would you choose?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd love someone like Jennifer Saunders.
That'd be fun.
She'd be great. Yeah, because I don't really take myself that seriously.
Just imagine her sitting down with a glass of wine, just watching you do everything.
Oh my God, be amazing. Yes, I'm picturing that now. I would love that. I mean, if we could get Dawn French in as well and have like a double header, amazing. But you know, you can't have everything in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Yeah, I would say that, because also if I was to go for someone like Dame Judi Dench, that's kind of putting myself up there. I'm not saying Jennifer Saunders isn't up there, but I think I'd rather have a bit more of a laugh, like you say, glass of wine with Jennifer. We could then become really good friends. See where I'm going with that. So yeah, Jennifer Saunders.
What's the most random thing that you did during lockdown?
Oh gosh, the most random thing. I'm sure there's loads.
You see everyone doing just stuff they would never normally do, so I just imagine you would have done something.
Yeah, what kind of trouble did I get into? Probably a lot. Well, no, because I don't cook. Like all I do is just chat rubbish. Like, so I never did the whole, what were they making, the sourdough bread? Never did any of that. I actually try to be well behaved in the week, so not drink much, do a lot of exercise. Oh my God, I sound like my lockdown was boring.
You say random things. You didn't quite get the question there, did you?
No, I don't think I did.
I behaved random. And I was very good.
I think, yeah, which again is not my day-to-day life. I did start a podcast only for about a couple of months, really, which was good. I got quite a few like different kind of guests. That's not really random though, is it? Because that's what we're doing.
I started it during lockdown, so we can have a tangent there. As it's connected, it works.
There's a connection, yeah. Because again, we could be here a while with me trying to think what random thing.
I was gonna say,
I think I tried for about a week or 2 weeks a personal training course, and I thought to myself, do you know what? If I could focus, no, doing one. I'm a rubbish teacher. Easily distracted, get bored. I like entertainment. And I realized I just wouldn't be very good, but that's not really random, is it? And I think I opened the syllabus for 5 minutes and that was it.
So I'm just going to hear everything you've done during lockdown at this point.
You really are. Then I woke up and it
was all a
yeah, that was it. So yeah, no, nothing apart from doing a podcast for like 2 months.
I'll give you a really left field question then to spice things up again then. Do mermaids give birth to live children or do they lay eggs?
Ooh, mermaids are full of glitter and sparkle and all things nice. They birth to eggs. There we go.
I mean, I don't know the answer.
I mean, come on. No right or wrong answer here. Imagine if I say unicorns, they give birth to unicorns, which would make more sense in fairness.
Do you want to justify that? I'm just going to put a
well, mermaids aren't real, and although they could be, and if they are real,
we go for we'll just throw anything against the wall and see what sticks better. I see.
Yeah, they would, but mermaids would be in the kind of world where unicorns are around, and so therefore, I don't know. I need a drink.
If I have like a snippet to entice people in, it's like, I swear she talks about other stuff, but also if this doesn't make you want to watch it, I don't know what will.
It's like a day in the life of my brain. Wow.
Finally, then, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to get into presenting journalism? Well, presenting / journalism.
I would say work experience is key. Get yourself in as a runner. Get yourself in to, I always say it is who you know. The only way you can get who you know is by starting somewhere at the beginning. So, I would say if you wanted to get into presenting, what show is it you want to do? Look at Google who are the directors behind it. Go find via LinkedIn their email addresses. Go to production houses. I would go that way because you learn your craft as well, and you only learn your craft, I think, by being on the job. I don't think personally you can learn it by going to workshops and classes.
So there's only so much theory before you actually have to just do something.
Well, yeah, you've just got to be out there, kind of balls of steel, and once you're there, so if you are a runner or somehow on a production, that's how then opportunities arise, and you never know that the fellow runner next to you could go on in a couple of years and be casting another show like that. But that's how you get to know people. That's how you get yourself in those situations where you hear about auditions. And so I would say that, and just be as knowledgeable as you possibly can be. If you're going into sport, women, it's changing, but slowly but surely it is tougher. I cut my hair really short. I used to have really long blonde hair, and I cut my hair really short. So I wouldn't be judged as a kind of, because I'm quite outgoing and, and I didn't want to be judged a certain way, but that's actually ridiculous because it shouldn't matter. But you've got to just, be as knowledgeable as possible, make contacts, and also just keep on reinventing yourself. What is popular now in the industry won't be in a couple of years. The shows now will always need new people eventually. I would, exactly, get rid of them all. But it has like a natural cycle, and you always need new faces, and it's so difficult not to compare yourself to everyone. But if we were all the same mold, then there would probably be no great jobs around. Embrace your personality. Like I said, I left school at 15. I didn't go to university. I didn't have the normal route into the industry. I work now, with commentators that have been around in the industry for years. I work with journalists that have gone through that route. And sometimes I do have, and we said it before we started this, imposter syndrome, where you feel like, oh my God, am I good enough to be here? But I am. I just, what I bring to the table is different to what they bring, but what I bring is really good, and what they bring is really good, and it makes a show, it makes a production. Couldn't
say if everything was the same, it'd just be bloody boring. So
yeah, exactly. And it is all about making a change, and it's create your own shows, come up with ideas. And I guess if you have an idea of where you want to end up, great. If you don't, you just know you want to be in the industry, then great. But a lot of the time, work your ass off, work longer than anyone else, work smarter than anyone else. And I do think you eventually get there. I do. Plus, a lot of the shows I do, I'm working with my friends, and I want to work with my friends. And I think, when it comes to it, even if you don't feel as qualified maybe as someone, you would rather work, they want to work with people they get on with. And
so if you're having fun, that makes such a big difference. So
yeah, and passion. And again, it sounds like a cliche, but I didn't have a usual route into the industry, and I didn't even have like help from anyone within the industry. Yet I'm, touch wood, I keep looking for wood, there is nothing. Touch the wall. I'm doing all right at the moment. I'm doing, well, and I'm loving it. And yeah, just make as many contacts as possible. Be lovely, work hard, and I think that will definitely serve people well.
Finally, an appropriate caption for the podcast.
We got there.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting with you today. So I thank you for being here, and good luck with everything that you're going to be doing for the rest of the season.
Thank you very, very much. Yeah, for your life. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I had a lot of fun with that chat and could have kept talking about motorsport for hours there. Don't be surprised to see Rachel as a return guest in the future. I want to thank Rachel again for coming onto the show, and do go and follow her on social media if you get the chance. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport, and in the meantime, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and check out the other videos on my channel. Away from YouTube, you can find me over on DriveTribe, and feel free to follow me on Instagram at t.albers.daily.drivetribe. You can also find me over on GP Grandstand TV, where I'm part of their weekly podcast. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you again soon.